Alright, so I got this Shimano STX. It's an older shifter. It's basically our situation is we're able to go to second gear, but it's trying to click up to the third gear, but won't quite get there. So this is a pretty common issue on these. So we're gonna go ahead and disassemble this thing here. Take this little screw out first. These are pretty easy to take apart so we can see what our actual issue is. That's just a 10mm socket there. But yeah, like I say, these are pretty easy to disassemble. Isolate the actual problem on these. So pretty much most all Shimano shifters, road or mountain, use a similar system. Take this little cover off. So from here, once we take this center bolt out, we can just basically remove the whole shift mechanism. So if you look inside of here, we've got this little kind of a dust ring. We can kind of just leave that in place, but down inside of here we've got our little spring-loaded the gear indicator needle there. So we're not going to mess with this piece unless you have something's wrong with the indicator, or this is broken, whatever. You're probably not going to be able to get parts for that anyway, but you can disassemble this if something's jammed up in there. But we're not going to mess with that. We're going to focus on this part. So generally the main culprit on these is going to be this little paw right here. And so as we're going through and shifting the gears, you can see it hits the first click. This paw's not retracting enough to grab onto this second position in the little ratchet wheel there. So I've got the front shifter, which was actually broken. This is actually the rear shifter, and somebody had tried to work on it, and basically you've got this little nut here that looks like that got, I believe the threads on that are reversed, so it looks like somebody tried to take that apart and broke it off. And so yeah, it's got some issues. You can see where somebody's kind of tried to jam it back together and damaged the little shift indicator there. So anyway, we've got this piece isolated here, and there's a very light spring here that basically wants to pull that little paw inwards. And you know, as you can see, that thing I can move it back and forth with my finger, but it's pretty sticky. And generally the main issue with any of these is just the original grease that's in there. It just gets really thick and kind of turns into a thick wax instead of a lubricant. So this little paw has to rotate on this shaft. Let's see if we can maybe take this apart. There's a little C-clip here. There we go. So got that's the little C-clip, and so this thing should just at this point come right up off of here. There we go. Alright, so I got some WD-40 here on hand, and we're gonna kind of clean this up just a little. Now you don't necessarily have to go through all of this and disassemble anything. Normally you can just spray the pieces as it's all intact. Oh. Now slip this back on here. Alright, so yeah, you can see that, you know, it pivots freely now. So, you know, in this case we could just install this little clip back on. You know, if you wanted to take one of these apart that far, but either which way, it's good to go. So here's our original one, and you can kind of test it. You know, you would basically, if you were to take one of these out, I just used the other one as an example there. But usually just a pick, you know, you can take and see how easily that rotates back, and you can see here it's super gummy, super sticky. I can move it with my finger, but just barely. So we'll go ahead and get a little WD-40 in there, or any kind of penetrating oil, just to work that free. Use my pick just to you can see it's wanting to return now on its own a little better. I don't have any access to compressed air here, but you know, another method is just kind of dose this whole thing up with some kind of a degreaser, WD-40 or whatever. Some people like to use some pretty stout stuff, speed degreaser, that's basically finish line speed degreaser, which is basically compressed acetone. I don't know, that's a little harsh in my opinion. I like it when it just kind of gets everything wet. You can just blow it out with compressed air. Works really well. Or sometimes we have a solvent tank that actually uses really hot water. That works really well. You know, they just rinse it off with water. You can blow it out or just let it air dry. So that thing's working pretty well now. I'm just gonna kind of wipe this off, and then my favorite lube is the Finish Line, the green in the aerosol can, but this is just the normal bottle. So I'm gonna just use this for now just as an actual lubricant. We'll go ahead and just really kind of get this in everything here. That's our main pawl, but basically all the moving bits and pieces there, you can just work it around. It's a little difficult on this one to hold it in place. Okay, so we got that. Got it shifted all the way to the return position there. So we got our lever body here. Alright, so we've got our little gasket piece there. And we'll just, if you look at the bottom end of the shifter, that's where the indicator piece is gonna, right there's where the indicator piece is gonna engage. And there's a little nub here that engages, whoops, inside of there. So again, we'll put our little gasket piece back on. It's gonna go like that, with a little groove facing downward. The shifter lever is going to go. You don't want to force it, you want to just kind of let it basically fall into place there. So you might test it, you know, just to make sure that's working before you bolt it all together as far as the indicator. So that's all in place. And put our dust cover over. Our bolt. It's got some Loctite type stuff there, so I don't know. You may or may not put a dab of some mild Loctite on there. And then just torque this down. Snug it down. You don't want to put the monster torque on it. Replace that little screw. Alright, and then as far as the cable, that's where the got your adjuster there. That's your cable housing stop. The inner cable will feed through. There's a hole. I'm not sure how visible that is, right back in there. Cable just stabs through, straight through that way. And that's basically it. Got this thing back functional. It's all good to go. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for lots of other bike tutorials, and make sure you hit that notification bell. So yeah, thanks.